Hi everybody, my name's Jamie, and at the time of writing this script for this video, it's the end of my working day as a freelance writer and my brain is already a bit frazzled. Lo and behold, the Assassin's Creed community comes along and absolutely destroys any sense of sanity that I have left. Of course, I'm talking about the recent news that's been doing the rounds regarding the next game in the AC series. According to a report from Tech Radar, a leak has been found that indicates that the next AC game is going to take place in India, of all places. The setting isn't entirely new, since the series visited India in Assassin's Creed Chronicles, but this would be the first mainline game to actually hit the region and bring it to life AC style. The leak was posted on 4chan, a site I stay well clear of personally for, reasons regarding fake leaks and stuff like that. However, the most important parts have been picked up by various news outlets, so I'm going to bring all of those details together in this video so you guys have it all in one place and understand what the heck's happening. As always, I'll link all my sources in the description if you're curious. I'm not going to link 4chan though. Okay, so first things first, the leak contained a rough map. Rough is right. I'll get it up in the video for you now, and you can see just how vague everything is. There are basically just points where there would be cities or settlements, I guess, and then huge sections of wasted space. You can also see two distinct colours, although there are four in total. They're being used to define the two key areas of each faction, I guess, and we'll jump into the mention of factions in a second. The leaker claimed that they themselves are from Ubisoft or were part of Ubisoft. I'm not really sure. They're referred to as a Ubisoft insider, but that could just mean that they do the mail, the coffee, empty the bins, or did work experience there. So let's take it all with a big old fist of salt. Anyway, they say that the game will include the entirety of India, Bangladesh, and parts of Pakistan. The aim, they say, is to make a larger map than that of AC Valhalla. Now, as I went over in my AC Valhalla map video, Saxon England isn't the largest map the AC series has ever seen. If you want to know more about the sizes of the maps throughout the series, there's actually a link to that video in the description now. The next thing the leak covers is the setting itself. We know the alleged location, but the time period is said to be the 17th century, so anywhere between 1601 and 1700. For some reason, Tech Radar mentions that this means that it's likely to include the Taj Mahal because of the time period, but that place is still standing today, so I'm not quite sure why they bothered mentioning it. It could be, any time from the middle 1600s to 2021. It was completed in about 1653, so it lines up that it could exist within the time frame if that's what they meant, but it could also be similar to, say, the pyramids being built in Origins, or in Assassin's Creed 3 there are big old ships and other buildings being built. And that throughout the series there's been structures of importance being constructed. The London Bridge, in Unity there's like a monument or something being constructed. So there's evidence that maybe that would be likely, but it just seemed like such an out of place comment, like really weird. So I don't know if maybe that was mentioned. It's just not something I found from the 4chan leak that was mentioned, but as far as I can tell it wasn't. It's just Tech Radar being a bit, I don't know, fruity with their references, I guess. Just seemed out that I know if I wrote that piece that I'd be told, where are you getting that from, and shut down immediately. So it just seemed a bit weird, just seemed a bit out there. Thought I'd just explain why I thought that was weird. Anyway, the setting is also said to be largely focused on the relationship between the British East India Company and the Dutch East India Company. These are going to form the two major factions, if you will. On a side note, I think if these are going to be the major factions, I reckon we'll start off playing as an employee for one of them. It just makes the most sense, since we'll be seeing how the companies are ripping the countries apart. And then it would make sense to include a narrative focus on a native as well. So a side story, if you will. Someone who has no loyalty to either company and just wants to fight for what's right. Maybe there can be some sort of relationship between these two, so sort of similar to what you had in AC Unity, where you had one core character who was fighting for the assassins, one core character who didn't necessarily know whose side they were on, that kind of thing. What surprises me most about this alleged leak is the fact that there's apparently been no talk of any naval combat yet. I find that incredibly surprising, given that the two major factions are both trading companies and they'd have had fleets of ships at their disposal. If the timing is to be believed, this is set roughly 100 years before AC Black Flag, which was all about pirates. And at this point in history, there were still pirates, there was naval combat, and there should be in any AC game set during it. Moving on from my biggest bugbear with this news, the leaker also explained that there will be a fully written female protagonist for the game in addition to a male. I think that's what they mean anyway, that's how it's described, so there'll be a male and a female protagonist, but whether it goes down the route of Eivor or AC Odyssey's Cassandra and Alexios is anyone's guess. Eivor has been so much better received than the sort of forced male or forced female route for the entire campaign that I think they'll stick with what they've done with AC Valhalla, in that you can do either at any point in the game or just let the game choose for you, which is what I've done. Now we come to what might be the truth in all this. The game is said to be an exclusive for PS5, PC and Xbox Series X/S. Ubisoft apparently isn't working on this game for last-gen consoles. However, if they follow what they did with the last new generation of consoles, we might get a separate game for those last-gen consoles around the same time this one launches. I remember when Black Flag came out, we got it on Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, Wii U of all things, and PC. So, and then with Unity, we got, that was a PS4 exclusive, an Xbox One exclusive, but we got Assassin's Creed Rogue. That's the one. We got Assassin's Creed Rogue for PS4 and Xbox 360, and that was the last gen exclusive, and it was just sort of doing what Ubisoft used to do, of using the same engine and putting a new story on it and just whacking the game out real quick. I wouldn't be that bothered if they did that with AC Valhalla's engine, and we got a PS4 exclusive AC game and then this Indian one for PS5 and Xbox Series, but we'll see. The final part of this that Tech Radar covered is the fact that Ubisoft is considering bringing back the Bounty Hunter system. This was great in Origins and Odyssey, and I was sad to see it left out of Valhalla. I don't think it fitted with Valhalla's tone though, so that at least was a good decision. In a game though that's all about companies and a sort of industrious time in India, I think a Bounty Hunter system would work quite well. India is also just, people there are so willing to work, so willing to do anything and build a lifetime career out of anything, and I think that actually there would be a lot of industrious local people building a bounty hunter system there, and there's maybe it's something I can research further. If you want me to, let me know in the comments, but I think it would fit tonally with an Assassin's Creed game set in the region. So how likely is all this so far? Well, AC Valhalla was the most popular game in the series to date. It doubled the sales of Odyssey. Obviously, Ubisoft would be crazy not to be working on a new game in the series. Their development cycles have shifted slightly though, so I don't think we'll see a new game till 2022 at the earliest. They used to do one every year, now they do one every 2 years, and then I think, they'll just do them when they're ready, which is what everyone in the community wants. A lot of these leaks seem like they could be true, but then so does a lot of fan fiction. Fan fiction's great because it's lore friendly, but it's not real. It doesn't fit with the real lore. You can't just write something and say that's part of Assassin's Creed lore now. It has to be approved by the people with the power. I think we need to put a pin in it and see what Ubisoft reveals during their press event around E3 this year, if anything. I think it was called Ubisoft Connect or something, but that's now an app. I don't know. Their Ubisoft event around the time of E3, because with the pandemic how it is, no one's going to E3. E3 won't be on unless it's purely digital and they've sorted themselves out. Probably haven't. So yeah, around then, who knows. Let me know what you guys think of this leak in the comments. Call it now, why not? Is this fake or is this true? I'm going to go first. I reckon it's true. Why not? We've not had a proper AC game based in India, and I was thinking late last year when Valhalla came out that it would make the perfect setting, at least for a modern day Indian assassin. I thought, there could be a really big meaty part of the game set in modern day India with you know, someone being introduced to the assassins and sort of where that world is at now, and then go back to the same region but in the 1600s and sort of exploring that. I mean, it could be any time period, any location in Through the Animus, but it would be cool if you had the parity of modern day and 1600s India and this one assassin going down their own timeline as well, because that's not been done often enough since Desmond cocked it. Anyway, tell me your theories in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and bearing with me. I've kind of gone off the rails on this one a bit on my script because my brain is fried. But yeah, I'm just curious. I just had to write about it and get something out there. So let me know all your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.